Welcome to Baltimore. Welcome to Baltimore.
In the late 1970s, the city's waterfront underwent an amazing transformation. Wharves and pilings gave way to world-class attractions. As gleaming new hotels and facilities sprang up, the city maintained its maritime heritage. Welcome aboard, America's only surviving Civil War vessel. The submarine that fired the final shot of World War II, and, when in port, the pride of Baltimore, a perfect replica of the famed 1812 Baltimore Clipper and Maryland's goodwill ambassador. Getting around the Inner Harbor is easy. You never know who you'll run into. With stores galore, you can shop till you drop into one of the area's inviting restaurants or bistros. No surprise that seafood is on so many menus, fresh from the water to mouth-watering. With so much fun in the sun and romance at night, you may not be aware how much more there is to Baltimore. We're a city of neighborhoods, conveniently close together, each with its own personality. It's a short walk north to the Mount Vernon Cultural District, centered around the Washington Monument. We know there's another one a few miles south, but this was the first monument to our first president. Within a few blocks are 55 centuries of art and artifacts. America's first cathedral and a legendary library 8 stories high. Pick up a present from the past on Howard Street's Antique Row. Perk up your appetite and catch a show. From critically acclaimed live theater, to the sound of music, to the roar of laughter. The performing arts are celebrated nightly. Clubs and lounges offer still more entertainment, tuned to every taste. Further north is the first museum of its kind devoted to African American history. Druid Hill Park, one of many beautiful parks, and home to the fascinating creatures of the Baltimore Zoo. An empire of immortal art, including the largest collection of Matisse paintings in the United States. Pimlico, scene of the Preakness, second jewel of racing's Triple Crown. Leading universities, and neighborhoods like Hamden, the colorful community immortalized by filmmaker John Waters, where the holidays are taken lightly.
Welcome to Baltimore, hon.
Within eye line of the skyline are biking, hiking, and walking trails and varied sports facilities. The model for virtually every new ballpark in America is just west of the Inner Harbor. The designers of Oriole Park at Camden Yards had a crazy idea that it was possible to build a modern stadium in the heart of the city with the charm and intimacy of a bygone era. The state-of-the-art M&T Bank Stadium is next door to Oriole Park. Here, championship football, Raven style, is played every fall. There's more sports action and great entertainment at First Mariner Arena, and sporting lure at Slugger Babe Ruth's birthplace. We've got museums for just about everything, from riding the rails to America's National Dental Museum. See those ivory choppers? Right, they were George Washington's.
Hello, my name's John Aston, and I'm speaking to you from Westminster Hall, the grave site of Edgar Allan Poe. If you visit here on January 19th, Poe's birthday, you may catch a glimpse of the mysterious toaster who leaves a bottle of cognac and a rose for Mr. Poe.
Baltimore's West Side, served by convenient light rail, is a scintillating mixture of old and new. The Lexington Market is the oldest market in America. People have been shopping here since 1782. The public markets in Fells Point and Federal Hill are newcomers, only open since the Civil War. The West Side Renaissance is centered around a beautifully restored showplace where headliners like Bob Hope, Frank Sinatra, and Ronald Reagan appeared over the years. The first African American to write a hit Broadway show was jazzman Eubie Blake. He's one of the many musical legends whose roots go back to Baltimore. It was at the Royal Theater that Pearl Bailey worked in the chorus line and Louis Armstrong and Fats Waller were accompanists. Billie Holiday and Cab Calloway called Baltimore home. Saunter east of the Inner Harbor and prepare for a culinary globe-trotting tour. In Little Italy, the sea breeze gives way to garlic and oregano. Within a few short blocks are nearly 24 Italian restaurants, serving old world classics and authentic family recipes. After dinner, watch the boys play bocce. Further east in Greektown, enjoy delicious moussaka or souvlaki. Still hungry? You'll find eclectic restaurants and great pub grub in historic Fells Point. Cobblestone streets and colonial homes are a link to the past and a freewheeling spirit that persists to this day. There's living history, cultural diversity, and the lore of the past, no matter where you wander. To take it all in, take a walking tour. There's even one that lets the spirits move you. Everyone loves the ice rink. These sweethearts were married there. Whatever the season, there's always something happening. Festivals, holiday events, a spectacular parade of lighted boats. But no need to wait for a special occasion. Good vibes here are always on tap. Turn a corner and you're in Canton, a fast-growing neighborhood where loading docks and oyster canneries have given way to condos, galleries, and award-winning eateries. But little has changed across the harbor at Fort McHenry since September 13, 1814, when an outnumbered garrison stood between the British and Baltimore. Francis Scott Key saw his countrymen take up arms. When dawn broke and the stars and stripes were still proudly flying, he jotted down the words that would be our national anthem. From Fort McHenry, take the Key Highway to Locust Point, Tide Point, and Federal Hill. Stop at a museum where imagination runs rampant and another that's like an industrial time machine. The Hill in Federal Hill is a favorite with young residents, as is adapting the past to today's gracious living. Here's the littlest house in the city, less than 9 feet wide. Most restaurants, pubs, and shops are locally owned by the chefs and artisans who greet you. If you leave without enjoying a crab feast, you really haven't tasted Baltimore. There are crab houses throughout the city where the helpful staff will demonstrate the art of cracking the crustaceans and digging out the tasty morsels. Making a mess was never more delicious. Surrounding Baltimore are still more congenial communities, each with its own unique charm, spirit, dining pleasures, shopping treasures, romantic getaways, and nightly entertainment. Annapolis, the state capital, is just a short drive away. So, too, is the Chesapeake Bay, America's largest estuary with more than 1,000 miles of fun-filled coastline. Traveling further, from the eastern shore to the Cumberland Gap, Maryland's scenery, sport, and spectacle never stop. Welcome to Baltimore, where there's more to see, do, explore, encounter, taste, touch, and enjoy than it's possible to experience in one day or one visit. Thank you for allowing us to share our pride, excitement, and hospitality. Have a wonderful time here in Baltimore.